Hi, welcome everybody to ceramics class. I am Mr. Bihari and today we'll be dealing with clay. Clay is the study of ceramics. So here we go. For today's class, you'll be needing a small brush, a skewer or a sharp pointy object, something to roll, and of course you'll be needing your clay. Here I have nice brown clay, and we also have white clay, gray clay, and red clay, red or brown clay. Okay? Okay, first and foremost, to begin with, we pinch off a portion of clay and we roll it into a ball. In this ball, in the clay, there are many air bubbles trapped inside of here. After we have finished examining the clay to remove impurities such as stones, broken glass, leaves, and twigs, we can roll it into a ball and then try to get the air out. How do we do that? And why do we need to get the air out the clay? First of all, air bubbles trapped in clay causes the clay to crack as it begins to firm or harden. So we need to get those air bubbles out. How do we get them out? We remove them by a process called wedging. And this is a simple process of wedging here. Wedging is simply throwing our clay onto a flat surface, like so, in order to remove all of the air bubbles that are trapped inside of the clay. Wedging. Good. So I want you all to notice that we have some clay here that's mixed with water. This mixture, which looks like some sort of a chocolate milk, is not edible. It is called slip. Slip is a mixture of clay and water that is used like glue or as glue to join pieces of clay together. Great. Now we are going to explore what is called scoring or to score. To score means to mark with X's some sort of area on two pieces of clay that are meant to be joined together. So, as you can see here, I am making a series of X's in the clay in which I am now going to add some slip in there on both sides, like so, putting my clay into those spaces, my slip, and then I'm going to press them together like so. This forms a bond that is very strong and will not be able to break once the clay has hardened and dried and baked. Scoring. Okay, let's move on to clay building techniques. And up first, our first technique is called pinching. And here we can see we have pinching the clay off, and then we can pinch with our fingers all around to create a sculptural work of three-dimensional art and design in any form whatsoever. We can create anything we wish by making a pinch pot, for example, or using the pinch technique to create animals and whatever have you. Here we have a perfect example of a little pinch pot, the pinching technique. Okay, our second technique is called the coil method or coiling, where we pinch off a piece of clay and we begin by rolling it flat into a long coil or snake-like object. We keep rolling our coils and pushing our hands aside from the middle towards the both ends on either side until there is a nice uniform width and height to our coil. Then we can take our coil and begin by coiling them one on top of the other as long as we can, and as long as we wish, we can continue going around and around until we create a vessel or an object of any type. Here we have a little coil pot or a coil cup that has been made using the coil technique, and it has been closed off at the bottom with a round slab of clay. The handle itself is also made from a coil, which was put into the pot by piercing a hole into the side and putting in the handles in there with slip and score, and then sealing back the outside and the inside to make sure that it holds. And there we have it, our coiling technique. Okay, so now this brings us to our last technique. And our last technique is creating a slab. A slab is simply a piece of clay that has been rolled out using a roller, flat and evenly, like so, just as we've been making flatbread or roti in our kitchens at home. We roll it out nice and flat to a thickness not less than 1 inch, and then we can simply take our pointy object and cut our slabs or our squares out of this flat piece, like so. We can take our slabs out and join them together to create three-dimensional forms, or to create, for example, using scoring and slipping, we can create a variety of objects. For example, we have here a slab pot, pencil holder, desktop organizer, whatever you want. Notice that the base of this square is also a slab. We can even out the edges by knocking them each time on their sides to make sure it is nice and even. Okay, and we can even inscribe our own names at the bottom of our object here, and I'm going to put A, B for my initials here at the bottom of my piece. This is a slab technique, a slab pot.